Hey, I'm Kix Layton from Whistle 100, and I'm here with Weston Burt, and we just had a chance to see you play, man. Good stuff, really good stuff.
Come on, baby, put your lips on mine when I got nothing but time. I know a spot just down the road with a sweet red wine and love in the river flows.
Growing up in Fort Payne, Alabama, the home of Alabama.
Yeah.
How was that? I mean, was that inspiration for you, or was it?
Yeah, it's funny, their music obviously was a big influence, but them as a group was the biggest influence, just because, growing up, your family tells you, your mom and dad say, you can be anything you want to be.
Right.
Well, most of us at a young age want to be like an astronaut. Well, how many of us really know an astronaut? So for me, at a young age, I've always wanted to be a singer. So when I saw the group Alabama being there, and knowing them, it was like, okay, wait a second, I actually do know somebody who is what I want to be, and it can happen. So that was the biggest motivation that they had on me, is just seeing us believe. Well, I can't stop wondering why you're with me, and why you look my way. Tell me what I did just to turn your head. Is to wake up with you every day. Yeah, no good love, it's hard to find, but you get lucky sometimes.
You're playing 100 shows a year, and you said that you had one of the toughest degrees. What was your?
Yeah, building science. So it's one of the few degrees that you have to do a thesis for a bachelor degree. Yeah.
What brought on building science and then the singing career? I mean, how did you intertwine those two?
Yeah, it was funny. I when I first started college, I thought, I want to go into sales, man, because I can talk to a doorknob. So I go into marketing, and I realized that was not what I wanted to do. And so I called my folks one day. I said, listen, I got to start over. So luckily, they gave me a mulligan. I started over, and I always worked construction, and I knew there was money in it because there was always going to be a need for something to be built, And so I started in construction, and I've always, deep down wanted to do music, but I knew that I call my degree my insurance policy. I knew I had to get an insurance policy. So as I started playing, started going to school, and it kind of progressed, and then I started playing music. It just blew up all of a sudden. From one year we went from playing 60 shows, and then the next year we doubled to 120. And it was like, well, I know I gotta do both.
Right.
So I just kind of pressed on and finished out.
It's a lucky song.